Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chuck Bazzaio.
I'm Jen Bazzaio.
And this is Spiritual and Paranormal Experiences, Part 3 of the 2004 Psychic Predictions by the
2013.
What did I say?
You said 2004.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
2014. Sorry.
Yeah, well, we're at 13 into 14. At least I was closer. I don't know where you got 2004.
2014's Psychic Prediction by the Psychic Couple. Don't forget, you could always go to our website at www.cbezio.com. That's www.cbezio.com. Also, the Psychic Couple's website is www.psychiccouple, all one word.com, psychiccouple.com. That's the psychiccouple.com.
Alright, let's see what we got here. Saturn is in Scorpio from October 5th, 2012 to the end of 2014. Down and dirty. Saturn has been in Libra since 2010. The sign known as the Iron Fist is fist in the velvet glove. Libra is an air sign, and much of its territory is mental, concepts, and ideals. Libra is a provocative, at times, cardinal sign, but always has a certain poise. With Libra, there's objectivity that provides some psychic space from whatever is going on. But now Saturn takes us into scorpionic realms, where it is not possible to stay above it all. With situations in theory, Scorpio is the planet of the underworld journey, metamorphosis, soul merging, being haunted, traumas, and emotional wounds. These next 2 years, Saturn has lessons in different packages, with a core theme of transforming what's toxic and undergoing the changes that the soul is crying out for. The transit of Saturn's Scorpio comes at a time when many are transforming in extreme ways. So much is rising from the depths. Secret, sober realities, woundedness, pattern of abuse, sexual confusion, and blurry boundaries. This is a transit to drive out emotional, psychic vampires and unplug from all that's feeding on your energy. If you're caring about dead bodies, the past, Saturn and Scorpio is going to show you how to wield the sheath. We gain access to the deeper realities of energy exchange with those closest to us. This evokes primal scenes, where we unlock the power to move through whatever has a hold on psyche and soul. It's a relating realities that show up in the dream time, or that strange pull toward someone, even if they're not good for you. Saturn peels back layers and blocks the easy exits. We're now seeing how deeply embedded we are in each other's lives.
I hope you're enjoying the Christmas music that we have playing in the background. We are recording this during the holiday season, during the 12 days of Christmas. Once again, you're watching Spiritual and Paranormal Experiences, the 2014 Psychic Predictions by the Psychic Couple.
Okay, addiction and despair. Saturn shows us sometimes in stark ways where our coping mechanisms are keeping us in a holding pattern. Whatever has been working starts to not work. Oh no, and yet that's the start of coming up with new approaches to old problems. Depending on how Saturn engages your chart, this is time to finally face anything you're running from and to be wholly formed by the experience. Saturn Scorpio is here now to give us master methods for taking what's rotten and composing into fertile ground for the next steps. If you've been through a dark night, Saturn, as planet of authority, can press you into service. You wear the mantle of healer, assisting souls through the murky perceptual field of our times.
I recently added to our website the psychic predictions for 2014, part 1 and part 2. Also, the 2014 celebrity predictions were added, and a 2013 Christmas special. Our family Christmas sit down. We talk a lot about different Christmas traditions and some of our very own Christmas traditions. So check it out at www.cbezio.com.
Saturn Scorpio brings the potential for hitting bottom, the darkest place, and yet this is where a strong foundation can be built. You're supported in going deep, sharing what is in your heart and soul with trusted supporters, joining healing groups, being committed to going all the way. What's festering and making you sick? This is no time for Band-Aids. We are now in Saturn's intensive care unit for near-death experiences that revive the sense of wanting to live. New vitality is kindled for the dramatic times. There's real hope when we face the core issues and know there's nothing we can't handle. Underworld magic. Saturn Scorpio begins the era of discovering new ways to deal with intense events, manipulations, corruption, and the quest to live truthfully. Scorpio is a sign of emotional bravery, with an instinct for digging into the meat of the matter. Whatever half-truths or outright lies have been robbing us personally or as society of authenticity can be broken apart now. We learn how to take even the most dangerous, life-threatening material and transform it. This is a kind of Saturn transit where things could seem to get worse before they get better, and yet you realize you've surrendered to a process of deep change. Saturn often shows us we are stronger than we think we are. With Saturn in Scorpio, the strength we find brings personal power and the courage to set boundaries. Is this your Saturn return? This is a life transit that saves us from structures that have been becoming stifling and confinements. What's classified as broken open. Oh yes, this can be painful, but it cracks us open so we can reshape the fundamentals and become aligned with our destiny. Restructuring. Be alert to news of crackdowns in areas ruled by Saturn. We'll see overhauls in areas of debt, taxation, and how we die, the business of dying. More will let go of wishful thinking and be forced to face denial as a deeper intensity is squeezed to the surface. This is just one angle for this transit. Stay tuned for more.
2014 is a sweeping year of changes. Remember, destiny doesn't control us, we control destiny. 2014 will be a year where more people learn to value their lives instead of their material things.
Yes, the more action you take to shape your future, the happier you're going to be with the more that you do to manipulate what's ahead.
Survival, heroes, and forgiveness will be the key words for this year. Protests will break out in major cities worldwide in the spring and summer again in the Middle East and Egypt. Egypt is definitely a hotbed.
Hotspot, yeah.
I'm still very, very concerned with,
Well, the only thing that I'm concerned with Egypt is the
Antiquities.
loss of all the antiquities. The ransacking, the raiding, the looting, all of the history that's going to be destroyed in bombings, and it's unbelievable. Theft, the
military
black market.
and police will become more aggressive, and then violent eruptions with blood will be spilled. People and young people are tired of unemployment and low wages in the government. The flu and cold season
Unfortunately, that's an epidemic around the world.
Yeah. The flu and cold season has already started, and there's going to be a strain of flu bug that could mutate into a deadly virus. A higher rate of infected and death.
Well, that's always a fear,
Mhm.
especially with the flu virus. The flu influenza has killed millions of people throughout the ages.
And I don't think it's going to be at the beginning of 2014.
No, and
it's going
it's
to be
always
the end.
affected or killed the young, the old, and the weak.
Mass UFO sightings over major cities will have everyone abuzz. Red and orange fireball orbs will be seen everywhere this year.
That's already started. We actually saw some this year around Christmas time,
No, New
or
Year's Eve.
and then your brother, the rest of our family saw some, and then last year around the same time, between Christmas and New Year's Eve, they were very prominent. It's not so much that they're going to be more, but there will be more reported because more and more people are starting to look to the skies. They're starting to look up and observe their surroundings. They're not staring at the ground anymore or staring, tunnel vision straight ahead. They're taking in everything. And when you do look up, people have a tendency these days, everybody is equipped with cameras. Everybody is equipped with, recording sound. So it's not so much there's going to be more, but there's going to be more recorded and seen.
It's going to be more documented, and it's going to be really hard to deny these.
It's going to be like an epidemic, only because people are seeing them now for the first time.
Extraterrestrials are making themselves known, and they are watching the events that are unfolding here on our
Well,
planet.
that's one thing that you have to make sure that you convey is that they're observing.
Yeah.
They're not taking over. They're not invading. They're not corrupting. They're not a threat. They're observing.
Especially the Earth changes, the global
That's one thing
climate
people have
change.
to take into consideration. It's not them.
Yeah.
It's us. They're simply observers.
I really hate to predict this one, but this is definitely becoming it's a big newsworthy event in 2014. It's going to be on the news a lot. I continue to see shootings in public places. People who are mentally ill and young men who want to become famous. They will continue to see these people make innocent lives with military-style guns that can easily be purchased anywhere. I believe that when these people watch TV shows of violence and death over and over, they become desensitized.
And not only that, but it's glorified. It's truly glorified. People have, there's one thing to have a memorial service. It's another thing to have annual memorial services and structures raised and restructuring towns. And yeah, you need to take precautions. But you don't shut one thing down and start another thing and demolish one thing and start another thing. This is all glorification to these crazy people that think that they are God.
I see that this concerns in around August in Washington, D.C. And then when the midterm elections come around in around November, well, before November, like in October, September and October, they're going to be popping up a lot during campaign rallies and stuff. So you're going to be seeing in the news how they were able to stop gunmen, or a gunman had a rampage on the innocent, and it's going to be at the forefront of our psyche.
Well, once again, it's, politics manipulating people. Politics is going to make it a focal point because one party wants to outdo the next party to influence the sway of the vote.
Later on, I'll be talking about Osama bin Laden, but I do want to point out that the psychic couple were one of the in one of our prior psychic predictions that you can see right on our website at www.cbezio.com or thepsychiccouple.com. That's www.psychiccouple.com. Psychic Couple is all one word, and psychiccouple.com. We predicted that Osama bin Laden was alive and that he would be captured
And killed.
alive.
He was captured alive, but he was killed.
Yeah, he's been killed, and later on we'll be talking more about Osama bin Laden and terrorism and stuff. I see worldwide produce being an issue with the global frigid temperatures for the winter of 2013-2014. This is something that I made a prediction around Columbus Day, and it is coming true. I usually make a prediction for the northeastern part of the United States because we live here in Connecticut. And what I said is that it will be drier than normal, but it will be colder than normal. And that's exactly what it has been turning out to be. Is we've had a huge deficit in moisture in 2013 in the state of Connecticut. But the overall temperatures have been consistently cooler than average almost every single month, and especially since I made the prediction on Columbus Day. So with these cold temperatures, I'm seeing that produce is going to skyrocket. I also see that fish and sea creatures deaths continue in 2004. I see more sea creatures dying in masses, especially in the Pacific Ocean. Starfish are dissolving from some unknown reason. I see massive algae blooms starving out the ocean with vital oxygen, and making the sea's food supply very scarce. Now, we eat from the sea, but the creatures that live in the sea also eat from the sea. And with these algae blooms...
Well, don't forget that the majority of our oxygen comes from the oceans as well.
And this is going to be a big controversial issue. But some of the Pacific's issues that they're having with the ocean right now, the blame lies with Japan and the nuclear disaster from the original earthquake.
All that toxic chemicals that seem to have miraculously disappeared and absorbed into the planet or wherever it may have gone, and how there's unbelievably no radioactivity. Well, there's going to be a lasting effect that we're going to see over the next several years.
Yes. This has been part 3 of the psychic predictions for 2014 by the Psychic Couple. Stay tuned for episode 4.
TTFN!
I'm Chuck Bazzio.
I'm Jen Bazzio.
And this has been Spiritual and Paranormal Experiences. Thank you.